Headlines is sponsored by Wonder Cement. एक perfect शुरुआत.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi to be on a day-long visit to his parliamentary constituency, Varanasi, tomorrow. PM to participate in closing ceremony of centenary celebrations of Sri Jagat Guru Vishwaradhya Gurukul, along with flagging off the Mahakal Express linking three Jyotirling pilgrim centers, Varanasi, Ujjain and Omkareshwar. India and Portugal pledge to further strengthen bilateral ties. President Ram Nath Kovind meets his Portuguese counterpart, who is on a visit to India. Prime Minister Modi and visiting Portuguese President hold extensive talks. 14 pacts exchanged between the two countries. Second batch of foreign envoys, including those of France, Denmark, Germany, New Zealand, Australia, Bulgaria, Dominican Republic, Afghanistan, Canada and Mexico meet National Security Advisor Ajit Doval in New Delhi after their two-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir. Diplomats share their experiences. Death toll in COVID-19 outbreak crosses 1,500 in China. Number of those infected jumps by 5,019 a single day, taking the total beyond 65,000. International Olympics Committee says Tokyo Olympics will be held as scheduled. United States President Donald Trump tweets ahead of his visit to India this month and says, "I am going to India in 2 weeks and looking forward to it." Trump to visit India from 24th to 25th February. In sports, Manchester City banned from European competition for the next 2 seasons after being found to have committed serious breaches of UEFA's club licensing and financial fair play regulations. Reigning Premier League champions have also been fined €30 million.
Headlines was sponsored by Wonder Cement. एक perfect शुरुआत.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukma in a top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a day-long visit to his parliamentary constituency Varanasi tomorrow. PM Modi will dedicate to the nation the Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Memorial Centre. At the event, the Prime Minister will also unveil the statue of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay. PM Modi will also flag off through video link IRCTC's Mahakal Express, linking three Jyotirling pilgrim centres, Varanasi, Ujjain and Omkareshwar. Prime Minister later at a public function will be dedicating over 30 projects to the nation, including a 430-bed super speciality government hospital and a 74-bed psychiatry hospital at BHU. Our correspondent Arun Sharma spoke to students of BHU on the Prime Minister's visit and initiatives taken by the government for development of both the university and the city. Listen in to this special report.
Now we are standing in the campus of Banaras Hindu University. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all scheduled to be in Banaras on 16th of February. But as far as his visit is concerned, so from 2014 till now, he has visited close to 20 times in Banaras and has unveiled crores of rupees of project in Banaras. So how the Banaras as of now or Varanasi has changed now under his leadership? We are joined by a couple of students over here. किस तरह से देखते हैं कि कई प्रोजेक्ट्स ऐसे भी थे जो BHU सेंट्रिक थे, कैसे डेवलपमेंट को देखते हैं?
5 चेंजेस के बारे में मैं बात करना चाहूँगा सर। पहला चेंजेस ये है कि सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी को सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से कुछ जो फंड मिलता था उसमें बढ़ोतरी की गई BHU को लेकर। दूसरा अटल इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर का बनाया गया। तीसरा चेंजेस कैंसर सेंटर का इनॉग्रेशन जो है हाल ही में प्रधानमंत्री ने किया। सर सुंदरलाल हॉस्पिटल है उसका रिनोवेशन चल रहा है। ट्रॉमा सेंटर का भी जो उद्घाटन हुआ है प्रधानमंत्री के समय हुआ था।
अगर हम सही बात करें तो बहुत अच्छा है। कुछ भी देख लीजिए आप, बाबतपुर चले जाइए, पहले कैसा था 5 साल पहले, आज कैसा है, दोनों साफ दिखाई देता है। रोड काफ़ी अच्छी बनी है। यहाँ पे जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाया गया है काफ़ी बेहतर किया गया है उसे। घाटों की स्थिति सुधरी है क्योंकि उन्होंने खुद जाके बहुत जगह सफाई काम किया था।
बीएचयू के फंड में बहुत ज़्यादा इजाफा हुआ है। जो नए नए सेंटर खुले हैं वो हमारे लिए बहुत फायदेमंद है।
अब देखिए ऐसे छोटे से छोटे जगहों पे विदेश के प्रधानमंत्रियों का ना कहीं यहाँ के लोगों को भी एक उत्साहित करता है कि नहीं, मतलब हम एक ग्लोबल रूप से उभर रहे हैं और यहाँ का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी डेवलप होता है।
Students of BHU are giving their views that yes, in last 5 to 6 years development has taken place, and on 16th of February Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be again in Banaras, and close to 1200 crore rupees of projects will be either inaugurated or the foundation laying ceremony will be happening on 16th of February. But yes, the development has taken place as far as the BHU is concerned, as far as Varanasi is concerned. With camera person SP Dubey, Arun Sharma, Doordarshan News, Varanasi.
The Prime Minister will also flag off IRCTC's Mahakal Express through video link. The train will connect 3 Jyotirling pilgrim centers, Varanasi, Ujjain and Omkareshwar. This would be the first overnight journey private train in the country. Our correspondent Arun Sharma reports from Varanasi.
We are standing at the Varanasi Cant railway station, and 16th of February will be a historic day for the people of Varanasi. It will also bring good news for the Lord Shiva devotees, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi shall be flagging off the Mahakal Express via video link just ahead of Mahashivratri. Well, let me tell you that this Mahakal Express will be connecting 3 Jyotirlings, primarily Omkareshwar near Indore, Mahakaleshwar in Ujjain and Kashi Vishwanath in Varanasi. Now, apart from pilgrims, the train will also be serving as a direct route to students traveling between educational hubs like Bhopal and Indore. Now, the new Mahakal Express will be the first corporate train to travel long distances. Now, it will be also the super fast air-conditioned train, and IRCTC will also be providing various tour packages. So, government on one side is trying to give a major push to religious tourism by developing such a Jyotirling circuit in our country. So on the other side, it is also giving a major push to the railway infrastructure by redeveloping railway stations like Madhuwadi and Varanasi Cant railway station. With camera person SP Dubey, Arun Sharma, Doordarshan News, Varanasi.
Prime Minister Modi is scheduled to participate in the closing ceremony of the centenary celebrations of Shri Jagadguru Vishwaradhya Gurukul and release the translated version of the Shri Siddhant Shikhamani Granth in 19 languages and as well as the mobile app. Our correspondent Arun Sharma from Varanasi with more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Varanasi on 16th of February. And during his visit to Varanasi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also be visiting the Jangamwadi Mutt in Varanasi. It's a significant visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi as far as this Jangamwadi Mutt is concerned, as he will be releasing the translated version of Siddhant Shikhamani, which is an epic of Veer Shaiva sect in 19 languages with their digital application versions during the valedictory ceremony of 30th day centenary year program of Sri Jagadguru Vishwavardhya Gurukulam and Veer Shaiva Mahakumbh at historical Jangamwadi. And the idea is that the youngsters in India and outside India should know more and more about the Siddhant Shikhamani epic, and that's the reason why it is being translated in 19 different languages. With camera person Saurabh Shukla, Arun Sharma, Doordarshan News, Varanasi.
And in other news, we talk about the visit of Portuguese President Marcelo de Sousa. India and Portugal have pledged to further strengthen bilateral ties as they signed 14 agreements to boost cooperation in a range of areas after Prime Minister Modi and the Portuguese President held extensive talks in New Delhi yesterday. Investment, transport, ports, culture, industrial and intellectual property rights are some of the areas of cooperation. Prominent among the documents exchanged were MOU for cooperation in development of National Maritime Complex at Lothal in Gujarat, MOU for cooperation in the field of industrial and intellectual property rights, agreement on audio-visual co-production between India and Portugal, MOU between Portuguese Diplomatic Institute and Foreign Service Institute for training. Cooperation Agreement on Maritime Transport and Port Development, Joint Declaration on India and Portugal Mobility Partnership, MOU between Invest India and Startup Portugal. Portugal is an important country for India in southern Europe. Bilateral ties have witnessed a steady progress in the past 15 years. Later, President Kovind met his Portuguese counterpart, and during the visit, President Kovind also hosted a banquet in his honor.
Our bilateral economic ties are on the rise. In our discussions today, President Marcelo and I were happy to note that our bilateral trade has crossed $1 billion. Two-way investments are also rising. We agreed to harness the full potential of bilateral engagement in sectors like infrastructure, blue economy, renewable energy, water and waste management, IT, tourism and hospitality.
The fact of knowing that there is a support, and also the Portuguese support, for your belonging as permanent member of the Security Council of the United Nations. Because it's a kind of recognition of your role in the world. It's not just a problem of population, not even of economic growth, not even of social power, not only of being the largest democracy in the world, but the fact that you are a key country for the balance of power in the world.
President D'Souza is set to visit Mumbai today and will meet Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari at Raj Bhavan, after which he is to visit Goa to meet the Chief Minister of Goa, Pramod Sawant, at Raj Bhavan. The second batch of foreign envoys, including those of France, Denmark, Germany, New Zealand, Australia, Bulgaria, Dominican Republic, Afghanistan, Canada and Mexico, met National Security Advisor Ajit Doval in New Delhi on Friday. The envoys returned to Delhi after their two-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir and shared their experiences with the National Security Advisor.
It was really good for 25 envoys, a very good opportunity to go there and see the valley for themselves, to talk to people. In fact, you know, during the 2 days time that we spoke to groups of people from the civil society, journalists, traders, and businesswomen, and also locals, and the politicians, the government local officials and senior officials, and from the military units. And I think it's always good, you know, to have a first account of the situation there. So it was very good and eye-opening.
Our impressions from the visit to Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, and how we saw the situation, what was our ground feeling and so forth. So I think we had a very nice interaction. And we also, I mean, somebody described yesterday that we went for tourism, which was not really the case. We were there to see things on ground. I think we are all encouraged by the steps that are being taken up there and how far the future is now coming back. So it was really important. Yeah, I think we have a nice dialogue and interaction, so that was fine. So we appreciate that. So, and personally, I was extremely happy going there and seeing with my own eyes what's happening. So seeing is believing. It's very important.
India is keeping a tight vigil to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the country. Flyers from South Korea and Japan have been added to the list of countries that will be put through screening in the country's 21 airports. Meanwhile, the death toll in China due to COVID-19 surged past 1,500. After 139 more people have been reported dead, the number of new cases of infection stood at 66,000. Japan and the Philippines have one death case each. 6 health workers engaged in the treatment of people affected by the virus have also died, and more than 1,700 health workers are infected. China has allocated 80.55 billion yuan to deal with the threat. Meanwhile, the International Olympic Committee and the Tokyo Olympic Organizing Committee have said that the World Health Organization has given the go-ahead for the Games after reviewing the situation. Egypt's health ministry, meanwhile, has announced a first confirmed case of novel coronavirus in Africa. The sufferer was not Egyptian, the ministry said in a statement, without specifying the nationality. The United States has promised to help North Korea fight the virus. On the other hand, Indian embassy in Tokyo in a statement said 3 Indian crew members on board Diamond Princess cruise ship who have tested positive for COVID-19 have been contacted and are currently receiving treatment at medical facilities. A World Health Organization mission to China will start its outbreak investigation today. The joint team, composed of 12 international members and their 12 Chinese counterparts, will seek more details. The experts will join an advance team that arrived earlier this week and spent the past several days hammering out the mission's goals. The head of WHO's Health Emergencies Program also responded to reports that the WHO had advised the International Olympic Committee against the cancellation of the 2020 Games in Tokyo. He said WHO's role is to offer technical advice on risk mitigation and risk response, and it leaves it up to event organizers to make decisions. And US President Donald Trump has tweeted ahead of his visit to India this month, and in his tweet, President Trump said, I quote, "A great honor, I think." Mark Zuckerberg recently stated that Donald J. Trump is #1 on Facebook. #2 is Prime Minister Modi of India. Actually, I am going to India in 2 weeks. Looking forward to it. The US President is scheduled to visit India from 24th to 25th of February. The examinations for the Class 10 and 12th Classes 12 will be held from today onwards. Class 10 exams will take place till the 20th of March. Class 12 will be held till the 30th of March. Elaborate arrangements have been made for smooth conduct of the examinations. Over 18 lakh students are appearing for Classes 10 and over 12 lakh students for Class 12 this year. For the smooth conduct of the exams, the board has made 5,376 exam centers for Class 10 and 4,983 for Class 12. There are 79 exam centers for Class 10 and 72 in Class 12 in foreign schools. There are a total of 23,844 candidates in Class 10 and 16,103 in Class 12 appearing from foreign schools. From this year, all the candidates already registered under Children with Special Needs category will be allowed simple basic calculator for Class 10 and 12 examinations. The Supreme Court on Friday issued a circular with instructions to fast-track appeals filed by convicts on death row, taking a cue from the delay in the executions of the Nirbhaya convicts. The circular read in a matter wherein the High Court has confirmed or upheld death penalty, and this court has granted leave. The criminal appeal will be listed for hearing not later than 6 months before the 3-judge bench from the grant of leave, irrespective of the fact that appeal is ready or not. It further added that the communication is sent to the SC from registry of the court applied from as soon as a special leave petition concerning the death penalty is filed. The fertile soil of Bihar has given birth to many great writers. Among them, Ram Nath Kovind, a big name in regional literature. In Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat series, we present the life and work of the great literator, Ram Nath Kovind.
When a child was born in debt-ridden parents' house on the 4th of March 1921, they impulsively called him Renua, a debtor. When the child grew up, his father's friend said, "Call him Renu, he will shine like a star." And his prophetic words came true. This child grew up to be great literator Ram Nath Kovind. not only a litterateur but also freedom fighter. Phanishwar Nath Renu has a similar reputation as that of Munshi Premchand in Hindi literature. The only difference is that Renu's writing is based on topics of Bihar, Bengal and Nepal, due to which he was called a regional writer. His novel Mela Anchal comes after Premchand's Godan in Hindi literature. Phanishwar was born in the village of Aurahi Hingna in Arya district of Bihar, which was then part of Purnia. The village is close to Forbesganj and there is also a railway station. Elementary education took place in native village, Forbesganj and Nepal, and higher education at the Banaras Hindu University. He not only participated in the Indian independence movement of 1942, but also took part in the Nepalese Revolution of 1950. After that, democracy was established in Nepal. His reportage, Nepal Kranti Katha, is based on the Nepal uprising. One of his short stories, Mare Gaye Gulfam, was adapted as a Hindi movie named Tisri Kasam in 1966 by the lyricist Shailendra and directed by Basu Bhattacharya. Another story of his, Panchalayat, was also adapted as a TV serial. During his literary journey, Renu wrote 3 novels, hundreds of stories and memoirs. His home and room in his village still cherish the memories of Renu. His elder son, Padma Parag Rai Renu, regrets that his father did not get the honor he was entitled to from the government.
इनके डेवलपमेंट के लिए मतलब किताबों का डेवलपमेंट के लिए सरकार के तरफ से कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, लेकिन प्रकाशक लोग अपना किताब छाप रहे हैं और ईमानदारी पूर्वक वो रॉयल्टी देते हैं.
Phanishwar Nath Renu has written many classics which will continue to inspire generations to come. Bureau Report, DD News, Patna.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Friday said that global security conversations should hear the views India has as he arrived at Munich in Germany for the prestigious Munich Security Conference. S. Jaishankar, who is in Munich for the conference, is expected to outline India's views on several issues of global concern and meet the world leaders attending the meet. On Friday, the EAM met Wolfgang Ischinger, chairman of the Munich Security Conference. He also met David Zalkalyani, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Georgia and Defense Minister of Portugal. His meeting with the Defense Minister of Portugal came in the backdrop of Portuguese President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa's visit to India. In a tweet, the External Affairs Minister said began Munich Security Conference by meeting Chairman MUNSECONF Ischinger. Important that global security conversations should hear the views of India. Look forward to an interesting 2 days. The United States has banned the entry of Sri Lanka's Army Chief, Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva, over accusations of human rights violations, including extrajudicial killings in 2009 during the country's civil war. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, in a tweet, said that the allegations of gross human rights violations against Silva documented by the UN and other organizations are serious and credible. U.S. sanctions imposed on Friday by Washington bar both Silva and his immediate family members from entering the United States. Silva's appointment as Army commander of the island nation in August drew sharp criticism from the United States and the UN, which later suspended the Sri Lankan army from its peacekeeping operations. Sri Lanka has meanwhile expressed a strong objection to the imposition of travel restrictions on its Army Chief Lieutenant General Silva and his immediate family by the US. A statement by Sri Lankan Foreign Ministry last night reiterated government's stance that Lieutenant General Silva was appointed the commander of the army by the then head of state, taking into account his seniority, and there were no substantiated or proven allegations of human rights violations against him. The statement came soon after the U.S. Department of State designated General Shavendra, making him and his family members ineligible for entry into the U.S. The government of Sri Lanka has requested the United States to verify the authenticity of the sources of information and to review its decision. In Mali, at least 21 people lost their lives when gunmen attacked a village in the central Mopti region on Friday. The attackers burned homes and looted livestock. Mali's government has condemned the attack, saying it will investigate and bring the perpetrators to book. The UN mission in Mali has said it had sent a quick reaction force to the village, where several were also wounded. It also provided air support to prevent further attacks and evacuate the wounded. And in sports news, the English champions Manchester City have been banned from the European competition for the next 2 seasons after they were found to have committed serious breaches of UEFA's club licensing and financial fair play regulations. The reigning Premier League champions have also been fined €30 million. The Premier League club swiftly said they intended to appeal the decision to the Lausanne-based Court of Arbitration for Sport. UEFA's FFP rules are intended to prevent clubs receiving unlimited amounts of money through inflated sponsorship deals with organizations related to the owners. And that's all in this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News and DD India. Stay tuned. Namaskar.